Hey there, folks. Editor Mark here. I'm just letting you know ahead of this episode that we did lose a little bit of our footage in the beginning, our little intro there. We were just welcoming a new guest to the club, Miss Marina, who is UnlikelyCatNinja in the chat. We want to recognize her, and I wanted to make sure to put this together so that we could, for being a wonderful fan, an avid supporter, and an all around wonderful person. Thank you so much, Marina, for being with us, and we look forward to the wonderful things we're going to do moving forward. Enjoy the episode.
Strikes at Tinman, but before it can land a blow, he ducks and finds himself sat on by his teal-furred bugbear teammate. Instead of succumbing to the effects of the rage powder, however, Skarok instead tracks his way into an old memory, a memory of a blood-pumping chase through the deep forests of Verdun, on the trail of a pair who seemed to weave together akin to the darkness between the foliage. Well, the chase ended without a catch. Skarok recognized it as it was, a test of skill, of capability, and of instinct. No one can catch shadows, but in that moment, Skarok felt he was the closest to have ever tried. Valen collects the unpaired gauntlets and hands them over to Tinman for safekeeping with the intent to take them down to Blip. As they departed from the room, Szar's phenomenal situational awareness picked out something in the box. What turned out to be a perfumed letter with a picture of Mert wearing an outfit he was currently displaying on a mannequin. The party surmised that while one cube went for Mert, the other went for the outfit. Szar recognized the perfume on the letter. It was a familiar scent that preluded the downfall of much that he had built. The letter itself, once opened, read, "I hope my gift finds you well, old wolf. You'll find included are 3 tickets to a play I found absolutely inspiring. Perhaps you'll join me when you arrive in my neck of the sea. Tell the bug an old friend says hello. See you soon, Am." The tickets detail that the play is held in a locale in the Great Belt called the Rose Gold Amphitheater on Renassus, a booming and bustling settlement within the Great Belt, and often the first place many see when visiting. Afterwards, you seek out Mert and inform him of the letter and the tickets. He seemed unconcerned with the attack, even considering it a friendly exchange. Skarok, however, deduced that Mert seemed only to be half telling the truth. While this didn't seem to be malicious to him, he was clearly tired and on edge, simply doing his best to keep it together. He explained the picture was of him on his voyage out to the belt some months ago. Szar confirmed with Mert that the electrum ingot they had was indeed extra legal. Mert then turns to future business. The mission he has for them is as follows: reach the Beholder ship, clear the ship and establish a new Spelljammer helm, take the ship to Hakatha, the Beholder homeworld, pick up the dead drop left there, return to the Academy with said dead drop. Mert did confirm, however, that should the party be made to choose, the smaller package they are to gather would be of more importance than the medals, and states that it's something roughly head-sized. Heading to the Skydock to see Blip and depart, they make their way aboard the flighty Foundling and lift off. Tinman tracks down Blip aboard the ship to ask about the gauntlets, but ends up drawn into a different conversation. Blip asks after the dove, if Tinman had seen it, only to be surprised that the Rootin' Autonome had already had it. Blip listened intently to the story. Among the southern drawl and cautious ownership of the dove, Blip found closure and confirmation for his friend and brother, Silver Liner. Blip spoke briefly on the connection with the gun, that it'll be difficult, but it'll get easier. That the dove belonged in Tinman's hands, and to confirm this, the weapon shifted to accept his grip. They took a moment of silence for the death of a good man before Blip left Tinman to his thoughts of thinking weapons. Meanwhile, Valen finds some quiet time to let down the leader face and come to terms with the day he's had. In his meditation, his mind wanders to a faraway place beyond the astral sea where he finds the body to the voice that spoke to him, and purpose behind the pact he spoke when he was young and looking forward to experiencing everything the cerebral depths had to offer. A glimmer of hope in a dark place shines brighter, and that hope could not have found a darker place than Valen's heart in that moment. With a refound sense of purpose and the knowledge that his son is still alive somewhere, Valen found the outlook of his future to be much less troubling. As folks settle in for their hour-long trek up to the Beholder ship, Szar leans against the whale of the ship and spots a familiar glint of green. His own ship. and a voice with it that pierces his mind. Krelak, who taunts Szar and encourages Szar to chase after the imposter Dread Captain that stole his name, and warns Szar that while Vasha was the one to attack here, his own part was coming up. Szar mutters under his breath a promise to the Astral Sea that he would track them down. This seed of vengeance, of purpose and drive, seats itself into Szar, building back up an old fire that originally brought him here. Not long after they arrive at the Beholder ship, and with the help of Crux and some ship hands, they offload the gear they'll be needing. They also find the gravity to be malfunctioning, so they'd have to find what was causing the issue. Valen spots some soft pulsing blue light up an access shaft which leads the party to begin climbing. Tinman finds himself genuinely in awe at how quickly Valen and Skarok and Szar, or Valen got Skarok and Szar working. They take the better part of an hour to climb, only to find themselves caught by the gravity shift and suddenly falling upwards into a meditation pit half full of scrap and metals. Szar hears his own language being shouted back at him in a metallic screech of "Destroy!" before saw blades erupt from the scrap and attempt to blend our heroes. Szar leaps with ease, but Skarok had taken a swing, leaving him open. Though as blades closed in, Skarok sprouted golden membranous wings with an electric gold sheen. They lifted and embraced him, protecting him from the reaching death. Valen and Tinman move to check out the flashing light to find a room with piles of detritus, discarded scrap, and even pieces of warforged and autognomes. The image they see is the logo of Calcitrix Fapelbrand, of Fapelbrand Industries, Tinman's ostensible father and creator. They hear a wheezing moan for help behind a pile of metal, with a hand sticking out, and as they run to approach, they see the empty face of a long-dead autognome step out from behind the pile, and realize there was a clockwork horror who seemed to have cannibalized the parts to fix itself. The cloying scent of musty oil and oxidized metals fills the air, as the area suddenly comes alive and sound in motion. You hear what sounds like dozens of metal legs skittering like curious crabs to come welcome the newcomers. You hear behind one of the piles a whirring sound of a saw and the screech of metal on metal. Valen, your eyes are inundated with sudden blinding flashes of torches that flare to life around you. You quickly realize this wasn't a graveyard or a dumping ground, it's a factory. The clockwork horror with the mangled face screeches and charges you. Both digitoid and bladed manipulators reaching towards you, saw blade and fingers gnashing at the air in excited frenzy. I'd like you both to roll initiative, please.
Oh boy.
Oh dear.
Shoot.
I hope everybody got their tetanus shot.
All right. I just have to add.
Yeah, no, I was like,
That was very fluent.
I'm trying. I'm getting there.
Very nice. Very, very nice.
This is going to include Skarok and Valen, because we're going to do pretty much this entire first part. Actually, no, not yet. Not you two.
Okay.
You're not part of this fight.
Just a moment. Just a moment.
Oh my god! I rolled a natural 1.
Oh.
I mean,
Start.
if it has to be on something, initiative is that, because there's really no negative side effect going last here.
Don't
so-
worry, you can only go up from here.
Hey, I like your attitude, buddy. This group's getting better.
All right. All right. So, Valen, let me add your turn in there.
Yep.
You had a 4, or no, 1.
Yeah.
You don't have dex bonuses yet.
That one
All
first
right.
roll's good luck. I hope so, Ninja.
Tinman and Valen, as you're sprinting to help the autognome that turned out to be this clockwork horror,
Yep.
as you're sprinting in, you're more focused on helping this individual than what's under your feet, and you slip and fall. That is why you're going to go last. Tinman, though, you're more sure of yourself. You've run into situations like these before. What do you do with your turn? You're muted.
Oh. You're muted.
So is it clear that we're being bared down on?
It's clear that this clockwork horror is moving towards you, but you see behind the other piles that there seems to be flashes and sounds of grinding and screeching metal.
Well, we ran in, so I'm going to continue, but I am going to bring out the gun, and as I run in, I'm going to take my shots.
All right. So go ahead and roll your attacks for me, please. All right, 23 definitely lands.
Where did that roll?
Roll 20.
Oh, you must. Day, make sure you're not rolling dust to DM.
Yep, we didn't see it.
Oh,
Oh
you
yeah,
did.
no, we didn't see that.
All good. So he rolled a what?
He rolled a 23 to hit.
Oh my god,
Dang.
let's go.
So Dayton, that does hit. Roll your damage.
Big guns.
And you are muted again.
Yeah, he mutes back and forth because he's got folks.
So that's an 8 in damage.
All right.
Beautiful
And
damage.
I'm going to go ahead and use my bonus action to throw on my Kinsei shot.
Let's go.
All right, keep him going. Oh,
Ooh, a 1.
all right. All right, are you doing anything else with your turn? You saw
No.
movement.
I am going to continue darting in, and I'm just going to take this single well-placed pot shot to see, you know, just what we're dealing with here.
Your instinct of aim runs true, and you can see as you sort of which web you're using the you're using the Stargrazer. As you pull out the Stargrazer and you loose a shot, it manages to catch it in the like the mask that it had on over its ocular apparatus, and you manage to crack it and knock it away. It screams in anger, and it's going to sprint to you.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't like that.
It's going to go.
God dang.
And it's as you see the lights going up in the area behind you that more start becoming visible. Where did I put that?
All right. Well, this party just got fun.
All right, Valen, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm surveying the battlefield a little bit. I'm going to
Surveying
pull off my flamethrower off my shoulder mount. I'm not in armor, so I'm pretty squishy right now. I'm going to throw it off to the right here.
Mm-hmm.
And then take out my laser pistol and shoot the one closest to us.
Okay.
Yeah, let me make that attack.
And Tinman, you're up next.
16
All right, a 16 lands.
for a total of 13 damage.
Oh, beautiful.
And then
That's nice.
my flamethrower is going to make he's got to be a dex save of 13. So the one on the right here.
Okay.
Yep.
The one directly right to you?
Yeah, that's about where I'd throw him to cover our right flank there. And
Okay.
give him the order to open up a flame attack on that horror right there.
Okay, and you said it was DC 13. It does meet, and you can see that it's actually underneath a pile of metal and detritus. You can see as the pile of metal and such lights up with some sort of torch that it's using, and it doesn't seem to be bothered by your attack.
All right.
It just sort of sits there and continues working.
And that's going to be the end of my turn.
Okay. For the one charging you, you managed to blow off one of its legs with your radiant damage.
Nice.
It seems to be pretty heavily damaged at this point. Tinman, back to you, my guy.
Okay. So yeah, I'm immediately going to focus on this one here to the left of me. I'm like, I imagine every gunshot just kind of throws Tin Man back like a foot, you know. So I'm going to go ahead, continue unloading with Stargrazer here. I am
go.
going to also, as my bonus action, use my Kinsei shot. So just my goal here is to be conservative with my ammo and just, you know, hit these as true as I can.
Aye, aye.
So let's go ahead and go in for that.
18,
All right,
let's
18
go.
lands. Beautiful, done.
Roll the damage.
Oh.
on
Let's
that.
go.
Ooh,
How do you want to do this,
16
my guy?
damage.
that is a maxed out. And you know, just for fun, let's go and throw in that Kinsei shot there. Okay.
Doo-doo.
So again, got this guy to the left of me, just kind of like immediately bring the gun around straight to the casing and
Nice.
All right, and it dies there. See the sputtering of the electricity and the energy inside of it. You see this like blue liquid start leaking out of one of the pipes onto the floor. You can still hear the calling and screeching, and you realize at this point it almost sounds like a song, like a worker's song, as these other clockwork horrors continue to work. Are you doing anything else on your turn, Tin Man?
Just kind of bracing myself up back to Valen up here. I'm like, I got the feeling there's more of them out there.
And I'm gonna tap his right shoulder and be like, right side, and then take a little bit movement because he's a little shorter than me, and kind of like not take cover behind him, but like aim my guns over him, so my laser pistol over him, so we can concentrate our fire a little more effective, and I'm not standing in his way.
As he's working over me, I'm take my gun, brace it up by his kneecap, and kind of use him to kind of help steady my aim.
Yes, I kind
Right.
of feel it and like put my weight behind it and brace him up to help him steady himself. Kind of like that
All right.
back-to-back army of two kind of
I don't
vibe, you
know
know?
what this formation is called,
Yes.
but
Yeah. And yeah, that's it.
Perfect. So you can see as the other three seem to be furiously working, and out of the machinery around them rises more of these creatures as they're seemingly put together from the scraps on the ground in front of you, and they charge. Valen, you've got one running up to you. This one's gonna make it there. This one's gonna make it there. And Valen, I need to know. Oop, that's not the right button. Does a Where'd it go? Does a 19 hit?
It absolutely hits bad too.
All right. You're going to take 12 slashing damage as it gouges you with rusty saws.
It just had to be rusty.
Ah!
Valen, your go.
As I get hit, I'm gonna turn around. Let me see here. I'm gonna take out my
hope you
sword
had your
now.
tetanus shot.
Now that I'm in a little more close combat, I'm gonna pull out my sword. All right. Well, I don't have that right, so I'm gonna just pull out my laser pistol, hit that one more time. It does a 12. Probably doesn't hit.
12 does miss. You're being pressured right now.
Yep.
You do have advantage, though, because you're braced with Tin Man.
All right. Boom.
Rolled again.
Yep. Yes. How about a 20? A dirty 20.
Much better.
All
that
right.
will land.
All right.
Roll your damage for me.
So that comes out to be a solid 12 damage right in his face.
Nice.
All
Lay
right.
him out. Lay him out.
And I'm gonna stay right there. I'm not gonna move. I don't. I took a big hit, but I think I'll be okay for a little bit here.
Your flamethrower?
Yeah, the flamethrower is gonna turn around, hit the two with a cone right here behind us. So they have to make a DC save of 13.
Only one of them makes it.
All right.
Is that
So-
still half damage regardless?
I
I always ask and I always forget.
I'm not sure.
Oh, the artificer
Yeah.
flamethrower. Oh,
Takes 2d8 on saved or half damage on successful one.
okay, yep, there it
Cool.
is.
Roll your damage.
All right. So and then there should be 7 total, but the other one should have taken damage the last turn then also.
Yep.
Half
I already
damage.
noted it.
Okay, so you can probably just copy that 777 or 733 or whatever.
All right.
And that's going to be the end of my turn as I continue to brace up against Tin Man. And hey, take your shot, Tin Man. Make him good.
All right, Tin Man, your go. Valen's calling for help.
So he's being pressured here from the left.
Correct.
All right. So yeah, what I'm gonna do is kind of got my gun here, braced up against his knee. I'm gonna kind of take a step, slide out, and kind of kind of like using my gun, move around his legs and kind of transition behind him,
Mm-hmm.
and then kind of pop out from the other side of him, and take point blank shot.
Aye. See that damage, you brace, so you get advantage.
15. Oh, that's advantage. Well then, how does a 17 hit you?
17 will strike nice. It won't hit me, it'll hit them.
Bonus action on my Kensei shot as well. So let's
Okay.
roll for damage. That's a 9 plus a 2. 11.
Nice. All right, you can see that this one is looking really rough. You can see that it's missing one of its arms now, and it seems to be finicky on its balance. The other two are going to come rushing in, and they're going to attempt attacks right at you. One of them's going to attack you, Valen. The other's going to attack Tinman. So the first one is for Tinman. Does a 4 or a 13 hit?
It does not. Pings right
Does-
off the casing.
Does a 14 hit Valen?
Yes.
All right.
I'm really regretting taking my armor off. That was foolish.
Well, thankfully, it only rolled a D8 for for damage, so you only did 1 damage. Took 1 damage of slashing.
All right.
It wasn't expecting the fire behind it. It threw it off balance. One of its little coolants popped and threw its aim off. All right, back to you, Valen.
The injured one, I'm definitely gonna aim my laser pistol down at it, try to get it out of the fight. I can see the battle lines collapsing on me. Does a 17 hit?
Yes, it does.
All right.
And you're still rolling with advantage because you're still both braced.
Okay. Let me roll that pistol
Just to see
again.
if it's a nat 20.
Yeah. Okay.
All
So
right.
17 for 11 damage.
And, and you're firing on the one that attacked you originally, correct?
Yeah, the injured one.
All right. You blow it away. It's returned to scrap.
Okay, and okay, wait a minute. Yeah, that will be the end of my turn for now.
All right. Tinman. Valen just blew this
yeah.
last one away.
So immediately, gun back up and over. Other side, we are being enclosed in, and probably say something to that effect like, "We are getting surrounded here. We may want to step back a little bit." And I'm
Yeah.
going to go ahead and take my next shot.
It's almost like you left your frontliners in the other room.
It's like DM. I was speaking of which, DM, do we pick up on what's going on?
This is all happening at the same time, so this is happening when you're pulling yourselves out of the pit there.
Got it.
Though I will be coming back around to you in a moment, don't you worry. 20 lands hard.
Nice.
Which
Does
one
he
are you
get-
aiming at?
Does he get advantage? Try to get that nat 20.
Oh, dude, get it. That's another 16 damage.
17. Roll your advantage, Day. And don't forget, you guys all have inspiration this session.
Yep, that's true. Another 20, dude.
Just 20s, back to back. All right.
Bang.
Yeah.
I can't complain. 2 dirty 20s.
Yep.
Which one are you aiming at?
I am aiming out the one that's directly in front of me.
Okay. You bring your gun back down, and how do you do it?
Yeah, same thing. Bring it down straight to the casing. 0 space between my barrel and its armor.
All right. I'm gonna muzzle. What is it? I forget what it's called. But regardless,
Muzzle
yes.
flash.
I forget.
That's
Yeah,
super
it's
hot,
something.
super hot,
Yeah.
Super hot.
All right. There's one left attacking you directly right now. You can hear as the other 3 continue to whine, but it sounds like only one of them is working at the moment. The other 2 are screeching, and you can see this one, another one pulls itself out of the destroyed machinery and charges towards you, screaming. It's not going to get up to you.
On your right, Tin Man. We got more coming in.
And the one in front of you, Valen, is going to swing at you. Actually, it sees Tin Man's open, so he's going to make a swing on Tin Man. Does an 18 hit you, Tin Man?
Yes, an 18 lands.
All right. Ooh. Well, it's going to do all of 2 slashing damage because it's missing an arm. All right, Valen, back to you.
Seeing us get enclosed, I'm going to bring my laser pistol down towards the one closest to me. I'm going to try something new here that's new to my class here, and maybe you want to narrate what's going to happen here when I try to do my first Eldritch Blast?
Sure.
So it's something I've never done, but I'm going to aim over, kind of over at the next whore next to me, and for the first time I can feel magic that I haven't made with my hands kind of take over. And what happens, Mark? Tell me what it manifests as.
And you said you're aiming with your hand, correct?
Yeah, I have my laser pistol out, so it's kind of in line with my arm here.
So you bring your laser pistol around, and it usually fires radiant energy, so it lets off this brilliant white-yellow light. But this time, you feel something seated in your chest glow and burn. And you feel it burn throughout your body, like a sun is erupting in your heart. And you feel it run down your arm, and you feel the muscles in your arm twitch and just move as outside of your control. And then your hand goes still. It aims, and you pull the trigger, and it blows it away. And you can hear in the back of your head, "Good. Continue."
Yeah, and then
I'm sorry. Are you telling me this man is shooting warlock beams out of his gun? Because that is sick.
that's going to be a 21 for my Eldritch Blast.
You know what? Don't roll damage.
Just roll
What do you
damage.
do? Don't roll damage.
Okay.
It's dead.
Yeah, I can feel the energy, which is new towards me, as it emanates from my arm and through my fingertips out through the barrel of the laser pistol, as it almost opens up and lets more energy than it was designed for it to do, and just lights up the whole area as a giant blast comes through the barrel, through almost my soul, as it comes down my arm out through the barrel.
And you can see sitting on the ground is molten slag glowing with radiant energy. Tinman, I'd like you to make a Constitution saving throw really quick for me, please, with advantage. Okay.
Ooh, all right.
So you saw Valen level his pistol. You saw the energy erupt from him, and you had the good sense to close your eyes as that fire went off. No one else did. So let's roll. All right. Nearly every single clockwork horror left in the room is blind.
And I'm gonna look at the laser pistol and down at Tinman, and so surprised.
Man's gonna look up at you just with this look of disbelief, like, what did you do?
And I'm gonna just point it at another one as I prep for another incoming attack.
Roll. Roll your attack.
Yep. How does a 15 do?
It does.
And
It does.
and then I'm gonna line it back up and get 3 damage on that one.
All right. And it was the one closest?
Yeah.
All right. So you just annihilate this first one, and while the other one's blind, you're like, may as well take the opportunity, and you turn and you fire again. It only manages to plink it, and you kind of feel a little embarrassed that after such a cool moment, you're like, that one was the best shot. But
Yeah.
you can
I'm
still
learning.
feel that energy in your veins, and it makes it difficult to stand still. Tinman, you're surrounded by the corpses of the enemies you felled. What do you do?
Just kind of look up at him, aim up my shot, fire, and then look back up at him, just in complete disbelief at what just happened.
I look down with a very similar look and is very much surprised.
Advantage, eh?
Not much better.
All right.
Again,
you're,
I'm just
Yeah.
You've
What's
got your gun sighted, but you're just looking at him like this, and you're just like, okay. All right. Valen, apparently you've got an admirer now. But Tinman, your shot goes wide. Is there anything else you're doing with your turn? Tinman?
Yeah.
You're
Look
not
up
in
at
direct
him.
threat range.
Take the shot. Look back up at him. Look over. The thing's blinded. I just gonna kind of walk over. I didn't say shot. Have my bonus action. So since I fired with my monk weapon, just kind of bash the thing with the butt of my weapon with my unarmed strike.
All right, go for it.
Yes.
Nice.
Again, still just look at him like, are you kidding me?
Like you're walking backwards.
Yes.
That'll hit.
Oh,
6 damage.
All right.
Rolls
Tinman's
a 19 for
arguably more
6 damage.
dangerous with his hands, right? 19,
Yeah.
19 to hit, 6 damage on an unarmed is really good.
Nice.
All right. You see it. Let's see if it does anything fun. It sort of wobbles for a moment, and you can see that behind its eye just sort of blinks, then blinks, then blinks, then blinks, and it starts getting faster and faster as it just sort of freezes up where it's at. And that'll end its turn. You can hear the other 3 keening and wailing in their unique language, seemingly unable to move at the moment. Valen, it's back to you.
All right.
see, I didn't know machines could talk.
I a little uncertain about what just happened there. I'm just gonna take a normal laser pistol shot. And
A normal laser pistol?
just feel it out here. Does a 15 hit?
Where are you attacking?
The one closest to Tin Man.
Okay, yes. 15 does hit.
And that's gonna be
It you get the feeling at this point, Tin Man, Valen can't help it. There's no turning this off. As his laser pistol barks again,
yeah.
and then this one is eviscerated. You're starting to think he took the hit just so he could have a scar.
Yes.
I wouldn't put it past him. Not for a moment.
Are you doing anything else on your turn, Valen? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, that was basically my turn. The only thing I'm going to do is then step back out of the rubble and the death of the clockwork horrors, brace myself back up to Tin Man, and kind of yell over my shoulder, "Guys, get in here. We need some backup, quick."
And now that's when the rest of you hear him. You're just pulling yourself free of the meditation pit. You can hear the sounds of combat and the clatter of gunfire, the staccato of gunfire, and you hear something different, and then just sort of like a warping, like keening metal. And Szar, you can hear in the distance, it sounds like a tune. It's you don't really recognize what the words are, and if there are any, it almost sounds like a binary, but it sounds like every part of that binary is a 0. And it's a somber tune that they're singing. You get the feeling that these creatures know their death is coming soon.
Hell yeah.
And you two make your way in here. Or are you going in, I should ask.
Great question.
Yeah.
No, you don't know what this group yet.
Yes, I mean, if we heard combat, I'm gonna poke my head in and see where. It's like oh, hey, there's more of them. Dang, guys, you did a good job up here.
Hit the front line, buddy. We need some backup. I'm not feeling well.
Yeah. What? How many we got? What do we see?
So as you enter the room, you can see, because you're on the ceiling, because the gravity is backwards, you can see that there are several piles of scattered detritus that stand about 5 feet tall in some places. But otherwise, in 2 of the piles and then out in the far corner, you can see clockwork horrors by their noticeable red eyes in the darkness. And they're sort of swaying back and forth gently and not moving from that spot. But aside from that, you can see that around Tinman and Valen's feet are 5 of the creatures being basically crushed to a pulp, or 4 of them crushed to a pulp or destroyed somehow, and one of them is a radiant pile of slag, puddle of slag.
Oh, all right. What?
And I'm
What
gonna
am
say,
I
brace
attacking?
yourself. I don't think they're attacking yet. Get ready.
All right. Hey, Valen, you all right?
I'll be fine. Take the right side.
Yeah,
Oh God,
I'm on
Tin Man just died. He's back.
I'll give you each 15 movement to do what you want as you enter the area before we add you to the turn.
No, actually,
Deployment.
getting a sit rep. I'm gonna walk over to Valen and cast Cure Wounds on him. My I think I get that twice per day. with
And
my feet.
what's your cure wounds look like?
So yeah, as he goes to touch you, you just kind of see where he puts his hand down, like his arm starts to bark out like he's turning into the tree, and then that space between you and him just starts to glow that like a teal moss color.
Oh, so I got moss on the wound.
Rub some
Kind
dirt
of,
in
but
it.
it doesn't leave anything behind. It's like the moss
Yeah.
is like padding
Okay.
and like and it glows, and then yeah, that's sorry, I did not pull up cure wounds. Is it 1d8?
Yep.
Yeah, 1d8 plus my spell casting modifier. So I just roll 1d8, and I think let's see, it's wisdom, which is that'll be 4 hit points, buddy.
All right, I feel it, and as I feel the energy in the wound, I kind of feel a connection between Skarok and an individual who I haven't felt that way before. So I can kind of feel the connection between us growing as I feel the moderate health you gave me.
And his magic feels old in a way you've
Oh.
never felt before.
Interesting.
It's just the feel of it sends a scent through you. Like you can't smell it, but you feel like you can smell it
Yeah. Yeah.
in a good way.
Great.
Oh yeah, and then that's it for my little prep turn.
All right, Szar, what are you doing with your prep turn? You got movement and a bonus action, and maybe an action, since Skarok used one.
Sorry.
You're fine.
You know, just
You're
a whole
muted,
thing.
Josh.
Oh, well, would you look at that? I said that's fine. There's not really much I can do with an action.
What?
It's everybody's favorite attack.
Gonna end up
Yeah.
moving. Probably about up to here.
Okay.
And yeah, it's gonna be it for me.
Tin Man, their battle tactic has changed. Does this look familiar to you by any chance?
Not off the top of my head, but these things are pretty unpredictable. I'll tell you that right now.
And can I roll any type of like insight check to tell what's going on with this new battle tactic?
I will
or invest-
let you roll a perception. Well, we'll make it an insight to see if you can glean anything from what they're doing.
All right. I'm guessing a 3 isn't going to help, or my average roll. So
They're definitely doing things.
You
Yeah,
get
they're
the
doing
feeling that what they're doing actively and right now is building another army.
all right. I'm going to kind of relay that information. Like, hey, they're prepping for another attack. Brace yourself.
Tin Man, up to you.
Okie dokie. Then I'm gonna go ahead and take aim at this one here. It's the most immediate to my sights.
Because it's inside of the pile, you're going to get a attack on disadvantage.
Do I see it moving?
You can see the red of its eye, but it's underneath a pile of detritus and scrap metal. Basically, I keep saying detritus, but scrap metal, which is obscuring a clear shot.
All right, then if that's the case, then I'm gonna kind of bring the weapon up saddle into my shoulder here, and I'm gonna kind of slowly approach in sort of a circular movement.
Okay. You can see as you approach that it doesn't seem to be watching you. It just seems to be looking vaguely into the center of the room.
Then yeah, I'm gonna kind of circle around it, and then when I'm feeling I'm about as close as I want to be, I'm gonna go ahead and take my shot.
All right. It's still obscured, so I'm going to give you disadvantage.
And I keep forgetting that there's an advantage and disadvantage button here that we can use.
Very true.
News to me.
Ooh,
Ouch.
Oh.
That's a
Oh.
shame.
got that. I knew I was running too hot. I knew the luck was gonna run out sooner or later.
That
All right.
that is
dirty
definitely
dice.
bottom of the luck barrel right there.
2 nat ones
You
back
know,
to back,
what
boys.
a 7 on a crit fail, still not bad.
Not bad at all.
That's flex worthy. Like, yeah, I crit failed, but it's still an average roll.
Yeah.
Tin Man, as you think that you were in the right spot, you think that you've got everything lined up. As you pull the trigger, you feel a mismatched switch somewhere in you. You've done this 1,000, maybe 1,000,000 times. And this has happened every so often. I need you to roll a d20, please. Just a normal d20.
Let's go.
3.
Ouch.
Okay. The rest of you get to see this. Tin Man drops his rifle. His hat lifts above his head and then turns and then out of the top of the hat comes a spotlight of various colors, and it starts spinning around his head like a siren.
Oh.
His eyes light up and his arms start waving at his sides, and you hear him start singing. I'm not going to sing it, but it basically goes, because I haven't written the whole song. He come on down to Fapplebrand Industries, where you can get your best darn rootin' tootin' auto gnomes of any type, shape, or size. Come on down, we got them for free if you buy 3. And then after that, everything settles down and he goes back to what he was.
What?
He
What
immediately
did I just
like
watch?
looks over, and then just slowly brings his hat down.
All right.
Tin Man, that is a beautiful way to gather the enemy's attention, to bring them over to us so we don't have to scatter to hunt them down.
Back, UnlikelyCatNinja, the background music was circus music.
All I can think of
What?
is was it?
Did you say circus music?
Yeah.
I
All I
hate
can think of
circus
is
music.
was it BioShock, where you kind of come up to
Welcome
the little
circus
ammo
of
dispensers.
value.
Yes.
The circus of value.
Was there any clown horns in the song?
Oh, there was 100% clown horns. Would you like
Oh.
to make a wisdom save?
I really would.
About to put Valen over here into a heart attack.
Oh yeah. An 18.
Standing next to him with a hand on his shoulder, the moment Tin Man goes off, Skarok, you see Valen go tense. Every time that horn sounds, his body jerks again. And you can see as he just sort of stares wide-eyed at Tin Man, there's something going on behind those eyes, and there's some manner of terror in him.
So yeah, the touch goes from like healing to grabbing slightly to like and then seeing his eyes going, ooh, yeah, we good?
And I'm gonna knock his arm off and be like, "Turn it off! Turn it off right now!"
It's like, hey, that's Tin Man. Just let's chill,
And,
Winston.
I'm just gonna start like I'll pull out my sword and I have like my laser pistol like super tense, like ready to go but looking foolish.
And through all of this, you have yet to see any of the Clockwork Horrors move. They continue to sway back and forth, singing their haunting song. Skarok, it comes around to you. What do you do?
What is this one in the center here?
Oh, that's my flamethrower.
Oh, got it.
like a cooler Clockwork Horror.
Yeah, like I'm gonna be getting a an actual token for you, but I always forget.
It's all good. Kind of like that one.
All right. I am just gonna kind of walk up. Let's see. All right. What's normal movement speed again? 30.
Yep.
Sorry, I play a whole bunch of ridiculously fast characters. I just don't know how fast normal people move.
I don't know what normal movement speed is
What
like.
is
No, I
normal?
really don't. It's like moving 45 a turn is a blessing. I'm going to move closer to this auto gnome and kind of just not the
Clockwork
clockwork
Horror?
horror. Yeah, eye it up and yeah, just kind of.
It
Huh.
seems completely oblivious to your approach.
Well,
Seeing Valen still kind of flipping out, going like, make it stop. I'm gonna go like maybe that weird song is what sent Tinman off it, and I'm just going to stab the one in front of me with my glaive.
All right. And as you can roll with advantage because as you get closer, you can see that it doesn't have any legs. It's entirely the upper assembly. It cannot move.
that makes sense.
And you can see that in a small clearing around it by about 5 feet is just clear. It literally cannot reach any more scrap to make more.
As his attack lands and sort of clears the area, does this become evident for Tin Man as well?
You can see that Skarok walked right up to it, made short work of it, and it didn't fight back.
Kind of look up at Skarok, just again, hat down.
No, Tinman, hey, you got a tooth mark on your shoulder from me, so we're no harm, no foul.
It might be that's what causes the malfunction in the first place.
Yeah, dude. You ever think about that, Skarok? This may be all your fault.
You know,
That's
Oh.
that's
Look,
his
I-
first
that-
title.
Valen, I'm
Skarok,
sorry,
maybe it's
man.
all
I'm-
your fault.
look,
All right.
I will make it up to you with dinner, okay?
All right, so yeah, soon.
So, as a group, what are you going to do now? These other two aren't moving; they're not responding.
I think we should
Hey, clear the room, maybe. Let's just
at least clear one of them and see if we can take one back for decommission it and see what's going on here. I'm sure Tin Man might be able to run some diagnostics if he ever stops playing that horrible song.
Skarok's just gonna start whistling.
Do, 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 do.
And with that, I'm just gonna Eldritch Blast this one to the left and be like, "Yo, check this out, guys!" And I'm gonna try to focus on doing it like well this time.
All right, roll with advantage. Tin Man, you do see that the flashing light has not stopped; it is still going.
So 18 and for 4 damage, and it's gonna emanate down my arm more, and I'm gonna kind of do like a fancy like hiya as I do it, as if I'm a kind of fencing.
Fly, web, fly. Yeah, and you throw the bolt out. It lands, and the creature has a hole through it now, with the heavy radiant energy just barreled right through it.
And
You can see that these last few were in rough. Go ahead.
I'll pull it up to my mouth and be like, I don't know where that came from, boys, but I like doing it.
All right, so seeing him kind of showboat, and Skarok's just gonna like pull the slime like braid out of the back of his hair and just like chuck it side hand style at the last clockwork horror.
Roll your attack.
How about a 22?
Don't roll damage. That does it.
So yeah, as
Are we
as the
are we
land-
destroying this one, or are we gonna try to diagnose it?
Did you guys wash your dice last time?
Hey,
I did.
Don't
Yeah.
bother. Kill it. Don't bother. Kill,
Kill
it.
it.
There ain't nothing. There ain't nothing here to look at.
sounds good.
Yeah, so
You
he
heard
just
the
throws
expert.
a spear and it kind of like rips straight through him and just like comes right back.
Yeah, in the distance, you see what was once the shining red eye. You hear the shing as the spear hits it, and it just sort of topples backwards, and the spear disappears from it and goes back to Skarok, past the filigree line. From what you can see, every creature, save for yourselves, in this room is now deceased.
And I'm gonna go like step on one of the like corpses and like kick it over and try to look at it. And be like, I don't know if this room is clear, but let's move up a little bit and establish a perimeter here.
It's like, hey, Tinman, what's that flashing light mean?
Again, sort of just got my brim down a moment. Kind of, you hear him let out an audible sigh. Kind of kicks the rocks a little bit, moves over, picks up his gun, puts it back over his shoulder. Yeah, I suppose we should go take a look at that.
And yeah, as long as you don't play that awful song again, please. I do not want to hear that ever again.
I thought it was quite charming.
Well, here, I'll tell you what. Next time you plan that, you have my full permission to put me and you out of my misery.
It'll be hard not to take you up on that, Tin Man. Very difficult. And then I'm gonna step over the claps, and I think Mark.
Yep. So as you head up there and you round the side, you do see exactly where I got the flamethrower token for Valen.
Okay. And I think we might be going into break.
In a few minutes, I want to
Okay.
go over this really quick.
Fair enough. Yep.
Tin Man, as you come around the corner, you do see what looks to be one of the average variety autognomes laying on the ground, missing most of its limbs and much of its torso. You can see in just the center of the chest is a small pulsing blue light that is causing the logo and the projection on the wall. You can tell that this is one of Calcitrix's designs. This is one of the ones he made, and whatever is left of it, it is not long for this world.
Gonna kind of, again, let out a pretty heavy sigh. Make my way over to him, kind of. There's a bit of a back and forth in the way he trots. Like, yeah, okay. There's a somberness, you know, to his otherwise jolly motion, and gonna kind of hold and approach him, see what I see.
And what you see is the remains of what you know as one of Calcitrix's retrieval groups. He's wearing the same dark black vest that they wear, and it's got the same logo on the chest. Aside from that, you can see that there's pockets along the vest like there usually is, but aside from the weapons laying next to it, there's nothing left of the body. It's just the upper torso and the head with the pulsing light that goes out from the opening of the vest. Are you going to look it over, see if there's anything there?
Yeah, I'm gonna look it over.
All right. So as you feel it over, you're gonna find a list of things that I will send you in a moment. But right now, I'll read them off before we go to break. You find a sending stone, the other half, which is not present. The Gambeson-like tunic that it's wearing that has several pockets all over it. It counts as a light armor. And I'll tell you more about that if you decide to keep it. You could see that laying underneath its body is a flare gun. There are no flares, but you can see on the ground, and you had seen on several of the Clockwork Horrors that there are scorch marks from a flare gun. So whatever this autognome did, it went down fighting. You find 2 daggers, a short sword, and a piece of paper tucked into one of its pockets. Lastly, on one of the pockets in the chest, you see what looks to be about a 4 inch long tube with a 90-degree spot that comes out, sort of like those clip-on flashlights. And you can see right now it's not lit up, but it seemed to be important to the autognome.
I'm gonna go ahead, look over this, reach my hand in, and disconnect his power transistor there.
And you see, as you fiddle with the power transistor, that a surge of energy manages to make it up from its core. and its eyes open for a moment, and it looks around. The traveler. Where is the traveler?
Holding my hand. What traveler?
It turns to look at you. We found you! And then he disconnects.
Well,
Did he say that out loud?
He almost screamed it.
all
So
right.
we all heard that.
Yes.
That's a lot to chew on here.
And we should go ahead and take our break.
Yep, we'll be
All
back
right.
in,
5-minute break. We'll
5 min,
reconvene in 5.
and we'll
be
pick up right back off.
Yep.
Peace, guys.
All right, welcome back. I think we're still waiting on Tinman and Mark here. But
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for sticking with us.
yep, I figured out what was wrong with TikTok. I had a live event scheduled for this event, and they wouldn't let me go live outside.
Oh no!
Yeah, so I'll just make the live event a different time beforehand so I can go live on TikTok and bring it here. But that's for next week.
Hey.
Mark, you're back. Welcome back.
Also, did want to make an announcement.
Yes, ma'am.
We were that I was going to make it at the beginning, but yeah, we are working on a bunch of new tech improvements.
Yes.
There are changes coming. We've been kind of running some stuff in the background.
Yep.
Hopefully, we're going to do a few more tests coming up on the next behind the scenes.
Yep.
After that, hopefully, if everything pans out, we'll be ready for phase 1 of the new tech rollout.
Yeah, I'm super excited for it.
Yeah.
we're
It's going to be
just-
incredible.
Yeah, we're just kind of waiting for Tin Man here. So, Alex, you've been working really hard on it. I can't wait to show it to the club for everyone
Yep,
to see
yep.
it. I think it's really going to bring a lot of the tabletop feel, energy, and role playing. And of course, ultimately, our goal is to get more live sessions in person. And I'll continue working on the live stream studio, but that's a few months in the making here.
Oh, yeah.
So. But yeah, as soon as Tin Man gets here, we can jump right back into it. You know, he's got a wee one, a young child at his house, so sometimes it gets a little difficult.
Being a
Indeed.
dad.
Yep.
Not that Josh and I would know.
Yeah. But maybe we can go ahead and get started, and I'm sure
Yeah.
he can kind of fill himself in pretty easily.
He'll fall in, and we'll just say that he's hanging out with that autonom for a moment.
Sounds good.
Um,
Oh, I guess it is kind of his scene. We guess we have to.
I'm
wait
about to
for
say,
him.
it is-
Yeah.
They just
Yeah.
leave off on a big drop, calling him the
That's all good.
traveler.
We'll keep it going for a minute or two here.
Yep.
Yeah. Obviously, thanks for everyone tuning in tonight. One of my friends, Anya's tuning in hopefully for the first time. She was working Mondays and she would watch our replays. But she
There it
texted
is.
me saying she was going to be able to tune in. So shout out to Anya. Hopefully you're
Yes.
enjoying it.
thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to
Yeah, I
watch
think
it.
she's doing ornaments
We
tonight.
appreciate you.
She said she's going to put it on with her family. So thanks for
Oh, that's
tuning in.
awesome. Heck yeah. Welcome.
Yeah. Tin Man, welcome back. Take it away, Mark.
All right. So Tin Man, you did look over the autonome and finally put him to rest. The items, are you taking any of the items with you? You did find that piece of paper that was tucked into one of its pockets and the clip on light. Are you taking any of that with you, or are you going to leave it with them? You're still muted somehow? Can you guys hear him?
No.
Nope.
It looks like he figured it out, though.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna take all of it. As far as I'm concerned, this is resources.
Mhm.
If I use it, others will. I feel like Valen is the type to want to gather everything. But I am going to pocket the letter and the clip-on item.
Okay. The armor you find, as you sort of feel it over, you can feel that the threads are made to hold together. and resist any type of slashing. Wink, wink. So it is a gambeson-like tunic with several pockets sewn in. It is slashing resistant light armor. So if you use it, it is an AC 11 plus Dex, and you get disadvantage on your stealth checks. It is fitted small, but that does not mean that it cannot be fitted larger. But it just means that of the group, the only one that can wear it right now is Tinman.
Nice.
Unless you get really creative.
I'm going to walk up to Tin Man as he's kind of turning the power off on him and ask him, you know, how well did you know this guy?
Can't say I did.
Interesting. Well, take your time. Make sure you pay your respects. Any fallen soldier, journey home is the most important.
Kind of mutter under my breath. But he sure as heck seemed to know me.
Yeah, that was a bit awkward. And I'm going to kind of walk back towards the center of the room.
Valen, as you're stepping away, you bother to look up. You're in the ceiling of the room, but as you look up, you can see that the floor, as it were, has several panels lining the wall nearby. And as you sort of step into the center of the room, they start to light up. It's a gentle blue glow and a lot of characters on these panels that you don't recognize. But you can see that several of them seem to be flashing, and some of them seem to be dark.
And with the gravity field, would there be any way to star step to the correct field?
So you're in the upper part of the ship now, so all of the gravity is being pushed towards the ceiling, as it were, which you're standing on.
Okay.
So you'd effectively be jumping up.
And the
So you'd
gravity
just fall
field
back down.
wouldn't change?
Correct.
Okay.
It looks like you might have to climb up to the opposite side of the command deck.
Okay. And the lighted panels on the wall, do they look like any form of switch of sorts?
They look all like switches. They actually all look like they are meant to control the ship.
When I look up, do I recognize the language?
No.
And I'll just kind of like look up, guys. What do you think that's about? And seeing Skarok with a puzzled look on his face. I can't read it, can I? I don't think so.
You can make out some of the characters. Skarok, do you know Elvish?
Yes.
Okay. Then you can both sort of make out the characters. They're a little more foreign to you, Skarok. They seem to be in a dialect that you don't recognize. But Valen, Elvish is something of a second nature to you,
Yeah.
so you can sort of see where whatever this prose is goes, what it's suggesting, what it means to consider this item, and what you're going to do, what it means when you push it, sort of deal. It's sort of rambling in a way, but it comes intuitively, and you can see that there is sort of hanging on the ceiling, sticking out of one of the ones, is a clockwork horror, just sort of legs dangling underneath, and then shocks coming out of it now that it's back on. And you can see that looks to be the one that has the gravity controls on it.
I'm going to look over at Tin Man and be like, hey, think you can get a shot on that guy real quick for me?
Yeah, I can do that.
And I'm going to like kind of bend down so you can put the rifle on my shoulder and like brace up for the shot, kind of like a sniper team would do, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of look up at it with him.
You use spotter?
Yeah. Starting of a spotter formation, but kind of like rough, right? Like I'm kneeling down, and I'm guessing he puts his rifle down, and I'm kind of surprised, but at the same time, just kind of go with it and kind of let the instinct take over.
Ooh, that's cold.
My man knows no fear of muzzle flash.
All right, so you have your advantage to roll the attack. It's not moving, So I'll let you roll. You don't need to roll damage.
All right.
Actually, as they're doing this,
Yes.
no, like it goes through, but as goes, if I think is what's going to happen is going to happen, Skarok realizes, tracks it, and goes, "Hold something now."
I'm not going to. Tinman completely did not think about this.
I actually just hold on to Tin Man, like hold on his leg
Holy-
behind me as he takes his shot, and I'm gonna give him like that, like a spotter head nod, like take your shot as I hold his leg behind me.
Steady him. All right.
Zar's gonna
happens
grab
as
onto
the
something
shot's
as
in the
Skarok
air.
yells.
Yeah.
Like I yell as the shot is going, and like when I see what has just happened.
You hear the shot, your head swirls, you clock what's happening, and you're like, brace!
Yeah, no, it's like,
Yeah.
hold on.
All right, I would like everybody to make a quick dexterity save for me as I explain what's about to happen.
And I'm gonna hold my starlight step on to Tin Man, depending on how bad this gets.
Nat 20, baby.
Oh, I got a 6.
Technically, that's your third 7 in a row, Dayton. It's a shame it's your third nat 1 in a row as well.
I thought my
So-
numbers are gonna be bad this game.
I got a 17.
We both failed spectacularly, but him more than me. Okay.
DM, do me a favor and tell me exactly what you think should happen
Okay. Yeah.
based on my nat 1 here.
So, first, what's going to happen is the world around you, well, you line up your shot, you fire, and then you realize at the last second you're firing into a control panel. Any number of things could happen. But the shot lands just in a gap between the Clockwork Horror and the console itself. And you can see as the Clockwork Horror sort of falls to the ground, but before it hits the ground, the entire ship starts spinning. And with your natural 1, Dayton, what's going to happen to you is that Valen is going to go to stand up to brace, and he's going to pull you with him. You are now hanging upside down in Valen's hand as Valen is thrown flying, unless you have something to say about that. But we'll get to that in a
doesn't matter.
second. Skarok, you saw the writing on the wall. You saw what was going to happen. There's not much to hold on to, but you know that this entire thing is a bowl shape. It's curved. So if you stay around the outside, chances are you'll just roll into the side you want to be in.
Yeah.
So without falling. So you actually end up pinned to the wall like those, the Galactica or the circus ride
Yep.
that's really fast. And Szar, you managed to hop up to avoid the fall and like make it a little easier on yourself, and you end up smacked into the wall, but you don't take damage because you were prepared. Now, if anybody would like to add some stank on that, Valen, it sounded like you had something to say.
Yeah, as I feel us tumbling and falling, I'm just gonna activate my starlight step and just flash step and gently set me and Tin Man down, but I'm gonna hold him like a baby as we do it. And then
So I hate to be that guy, but I am so gonna rules
Oh,
lawyer
does-
this because
can I-
it's gonna be really funny. Only you can Misty Step.
what?
You lead Tin Man there.
Well, I don't. It's not Misty Step. Let's.
It's Starlight.
Yeah, it's a starlight
Oh.
step.
It's a reflavored Misty Step.
Yeah, it's
I believe he's right. It functions the same. Same thing as Shadow Step, same thing
Yeah.
as Misty Step.
so.
It's
As,
only you.
all right, so as I grab him like a baby as we falling, I'm gonna be like, "I got you," and I'm gonna like whisper in his ear, and then disappear, land on the ground, and then watch him just crumple to the floor.
Yes.
So
With,
Valen grabs
but
you
with my
and-
arms out as I'm still whispering, like, "I got you," and then like I finish saying it, and there's no one there, and I just look up, and he's falling.
And you can see Tin Man in the center of the room as everything spins around him, just falling through the maelstrom.
Now, here's the good news. I'm going to let that crit fail ride, and I'm definitely floating in the middle of the maelstrom, just ejecting back and forth left and right. But I am not landing anywhere because you actually see a series of vernier thrusters
Ooh.
eject out of every inch of my body as I use my monk's slow fall ability.
Yes.
Yes.
All
So-
right.
Tinman, what you get to see is a beautiful cacophony of chaos. As you are on the ceiling of this room, and the scrap and everything stuck to the ceiling around you, suddenly you make your shot and everything reverses, and you start falling. Valen scoops you up and then disappears, so you're just sort of hanging there in the air. You see Skarok and Szar pinned to the wall as everything begins to spin around them. And then you can see as all of the scrap sort of goes to the edge of the wall to follow the gravitation, and you fall through the center slowly, completely untouched as the world spins around you.
Like R2-D2 when he pulls him out.
I need everybody. Valen, I need you to make one more dexterity saving throw.
Yep. Hang, coming your way. 10. Yeah, 10.
So, Skarok and Szar, as the scrap lifts into the air with the spinning and then, ejects to the side where you are, you both managed. You were prepared for this, and you managed to avoid most of it. Each of you take 4 slashing damage. Valen, you were still a little confused as to what?
Said I got a nat 20. No, okay.
Well, you took half
Is it
damage.
4 damage?
Yeah, you took half
Oh,
damage. A success is a success. But Valen, you weren't expecting not having Tinman in there, so you didn't account for the weight, and you managed to take a larger chunk of metal to the dome. You are knocked prone, but you will take 7 bludgeoning damage.
Oh! Last time I'd be nice for that guy.
This Tinman, how long does your feather fall last?
It lasts until I touch the ground.
Perfect. So this entire spin lasts for an entire minute. As you're stuck to the walls, and eventually you feel the ship start to slow down and the gravity start to reassert itself. Everything falls to the sides, covering up all of the panels. And Tinman, you touch down in the center with not a single piece of debris around you in the center of this room. You see as your friends start to pull themselves out of the debris to get to standing. Some
Yeah,
a little worse off than
Snowfall
others.
doesn't have a specific limitation in how long it lasts. It's the amount of damage that I absorb. It's 5 times my monk level, which is 4.
Mhm.
So upwards to 20 points of damage, which is like about 30, 40 feet of falling.
Right. Yeah, and the room is about 30 feet tall, so that's perfect.
Nice.
But yeah, so you touch down and everybody begins pulling themselves out of the scrap. You hear down one of the access shafts. What the hell was that? Get
Oh.
down here now!
Oh.
And you realize that the gravity has reasserted itself the correct way.
Like, there were
Do
other
I,
people on this ship. Oh.
What's that, man?
Do I see Valen?
You see all 3 of them.
Gonna kind of look over at Valen. You should have held on.
I'm seeing that now.
I tried to tell you.
My head hurts, guys. Who is that yelling?
That's Ryback.
Oh, thank God. I thought we were going to have to fight someone. Ugh.
You might still.
Ugh.
All right. Hey, look. We all took a bit of a beating. Let's get down. I'll drag Ryback back and how about cook up some food for everybody.
I normally would not agree to this plan, but
You had me at you being in the kitchen.
well, let's not get carried away, Szar. But someone's got to find the spell jamming helm here. So keep your eye out for that. And I'm gonna kind of look around.
You brought the helm with you. You just need to find a place to put it.
A place to put the spell jammer helm is what I meant to say.
Essentially,
That's what I meant to say.
essentially where we're standing now is where the glowing runes are, correct?
Yes, on the floor you can see. Well, it's covered in the scrap now, but
Yeah.
there were panels that were glowing with elvish-like runes on them.
All right. I think
Go ahead.
I think Skarok, we head down to the kitchen. We get some food. We get some feel a little better. Then we come back up here. I can throw this helm on, and we'll get this this battle bus on the road here.
Yeah, I don't know how to fly, so
I
I know what
have
Tin Man does.
I have a little bit of limited training and helming a spelljammer. I'm sure Tin Man could fill in where I lack. But
Not flight, it's falling with style.
hey, you're not wrong.
Tin Man, not a lick of magic in his bones.
But I hit my head pretty dang hard back there. I need
Alright,
a minute.
you know what?
before
I got
I,
my fair share of flying experience.
I can't get another operating a spelljammer while inebriated with a head wound. Last time,
Alright.
my spelljammer insurance went through
You
the
know
roof,
what?
and I don't want to
Szar.
go through that.
Szar.
Yes.
Dude, he had a boat.
Yeah,
Me?
Szar should fly ours.
am I?
I was a pirate captain.
Look, you can't get the DUI.
I got
So
this headed.
let's,
Can't get a
Let-
DUI without plates.
Yeah.
Now, what are they gonna do?
hey.
Take away my license?
Alright.
Jamming dirty.
Dude, seriously,
Let's
put the pirate
head
hat on
down to
him.
let's
They
head down
always
to the
get
mess
me
hall.
jamming dirty.
Skarok, you get the food going. We'll figure out who's gonna fly this old honeycomb of a ship, and we'll get things moving here. You know.
Len, toss me that
Alright,
helm and I'll work on seeing if I can hook it up while you and Skarok are in the kitchen.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it out of my bag. Out of the
Hey,
the
Valen, quick,
groups.
quick, last question.
What's up,
What's your,
Furball?
what's your favorite meal as a kid?
Oh, it would
Would you dare
be.
say salad?
It's definitely a nice elven salad garnished with some fresh seafood. So if you got some of that, taco left, you chop it up, buddy. I'm ready to go.
Sorry. Say
oh,
that one more time, because Josh really had me with don't say salad.
Yeah, it's a salad. Go figure. A salad with some of that squid we got earlier, buddy.
All right.
And I'm gonna kind of pick up the Spelljammer helm, kind of look at it, look at the size, inspect it.
As you pull it out, you realize that the helm itself, and you haven't spent much time below decks in a Spelljammer, you spent most of your time above decks, but you would know that while this is a newer technology, you were expecting a normal helmet.
Yeah.
This helm is a collapsible chair.
And I'm gonna open it up. At first, I'm gonna try to put it on my head while looking at it, and then as everyone kind of looks at me, I'm gonna then open it up and be like, it's a chair, and I knew that I'm just being silly. And
Many of the the Astral Elf jammers that you're familiar with,
yeah,
you use helms.
yeah.
Helmets, rather.
And I'll set it down, fold it up or unfold it, and set it kind of in the center of the room. And you kind of hear my stomach growl, which is not something you hear often. And I'm gonna turn around and say, "Well, who's hungry?"
While
And
they're doing this, I'm taking the time to kind of pick through, clean up, and push aside a lot of the scrap that was in the room. Kind of
Yeah.
get a cleaner working area for us.
yeah. And
Alright.
after the cleanup's kind of done, we'll make our way to somewhere that we can make a bit of a mess hall, a field kitchen to kind of celebrate the success here and the team.
Cleaning out
Yes.
the shit, procuring it.
Yeah, so,
So,
kind of
The
we'll
go
get
ahead.
to work
Start
cleaning it while Skarok cooks.
Yep, and you know that Crux's intention, or not Crux's, sorry, Rybeck's intention was to establish a small camp on the cargo deck.
Oh, great!
So that was already, he was already getting that set up as he shooed you all out of the kitchen, specifically Skarok, this previous time.
Skarok, I think you got some unfinished business in that field kitchen. Let's head down there, buddy. I want to see what a furball like you can do with a freshly caught octopus and relatively fresh lettuce. And I'm gonna eye his
Alright.
bag of colding.
As as you get back to the access shaft, you can see that the pittons and the ropes are now hanging the opposite way. But that's not an issue because they're already there. You can climb them again. They're established already. Um, you manage to get your way back down up to the cargo deck, and you can see that while everything is upside down, Shush, you can see everything is upside down compared to where you last were. This seems a lot more comfortable now, as Ryback seems to be attempting to make sense of what had just happened, having his gear thrown all over the place. You can see Mikan, Fred, and Cricklet running about trying to get things collected up. Notably, you can see that they've been in combat too. Specifically, the first thing you notice is that from the elbow down, Ryback's missing his left arm.
What?
Oh.
Is it dinner?
Come back.
Sorry, Skarok, I should have let that one for you, buddy.
As
Dinner.
as you approach, he looks up to see, and he throws the arm to Skarok and says, "Come back."
As he throws it at me, I literally just let it fall. Like, it's like no. It essentially try and find a way. Seeing as now I've figured out how this kind of healing thing, I'm going to see it basically take the arm and burn one of my spell slots and cast Cure Wounds on Ryback and try and reattach the arm.
Wow.
You can see
Thinking with his head, not his stomach. Good job, Skarok.
I can
ahead, Zar.
throw some lay on hands and do an attempt on reattaching that guy's arm.
Would you like
So
to?
yeah,
work
seeing
together?
this, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, Skarok likes to joke, but he generally is like, Ryback, are you? It's like, hey, help, hey, anybody, get over here, like, grabs the arm and tries to, sits him down, and just starts barking orders like, grab a knife and sterilize it over the fire.
It's already been cauterized. You could see that he's exhausted. You could see that, like, around you are bodies of dozens of the Clockwork Horrors. The part where Ryback is missing his arm, you can see that it was sawn through. It's a clean cut. You can see one of his musket laying across the way where he probably dropped it, and you can see where Mikan, Fred, and Cricklet all made their stand. They're doing their best to follow your orders, but they look injured as well. Ryback holds up the stump, and you can see that he sat down on a too small, little camping stool, and you can see where he's already had it bandaged up. It's already been cauterized, and you can see it bleeding through the wrap there. Don't worry about me. Help the other three. This isn't nothing that'll keep me from working.
Ryback, I'm sorry we weren't here to give you a hand here.
Can I?
Honey.
Hey, you gotta keep your humor, right, big guy? What happened?
They had just attacked us. We didn't see it coming. I was in the middle of working. I heard Cricklet yell. And you see his eyes turn suspicious as he looks over at the Thrycreen who's in the middle of working, and then comes back to you, and you can see there's red around his eyes. It may have only been 20 or so minutes, or like an hour and a half, but you can see that whatever happened down here, he's absolutely wrecked.
Yeah, take a minute, buddy.
All right.
Skarok and Szar, yes.
Looking at the other three, they're hurt, but standing. They're much better than where Ryback is.
They
They're
are
not missing
moving.
arms.
Yes, they are moving. They're up and moving. You can see Fred is a little stumbly. He's a little mushy. And Mikan seems to have had some manner of head wound because you can see half his face is covered in blood. But he's not toddling or anything like that. He seems solid on his feet at the moment. So yes, it does look like Ryback is in the most need of care right now.
All right. Skarok is just gonna kind of bark at the three. Literally, it's like, hey, look, you guys are fine over there. Sit down, stay out of the way. and then just say, bring. I need water. And yeah, cauterize that knife again. Say, Ryback, we're opening it back up.
You see Cricklet run for a knife, and Meekin and Fred seem to start hauling over a chest. We have his alcohol / potions here. Maybe they'll help.
Can't hurt. Open one
Right,
up.
those are kind of mixed, aren't they?
I don't know anything about that. Szar, you look up, and basically I am just kind of going with this new thing I found. I'm going to just try and more or less solder his arm back on with moss.
And if you don't mind me saying so, Szar doesn't turn to leave. He has experience with this. He can guide you.
Right.
His power comes from a different source, something a little more divine. But healing is healing. Stitching together wounds is stitching together wounds. You see Ryback reach over into one of his packs with his good arm, his right arm, and he digs out some chunk of something, and you see it basically looks like a small log. He opens his maw, sticks it between his teeth, and then goes, "Do it now!"
You heard the man.
Hurry, do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds. That'll be 8 points of healing.
That's not bad. That's almost a max die.
And Szar?
That's gonna be a straight 10 from me.
No, I'm sorry, that's 9. That would be 9.
Okay, because you got your bonus.
Yeah, I'm very confused why
So
something
your
doesn't
spellcaster.
match on my character sheet, but we're good. I'll figure that out later.
You see Ryback starts to groan as if expecting pain, and he clenches his teeth around the stick, and after a moment you see him go, oh. Where were you? Where were you when I lost my toe? You.
I don't.
And you
I-
managed to stitch his arm back on.
I don't. Hey, Ryback. Damn it, man! I don't know how to do any of this. You, next time, call for help.
I did. I was.
Was that
We
what it
were.
was?
We thought you were singing.
Yeah.
But regardless, everybody is fine. How went your excursion?
It seems we've established a good spot for the helm. We cleaned up the upper levels. We didn't have as much trouble as you guys seem to have. We'll need to establish a strong defensive perimeter when we get planet side, no doubt. To ensure you guys are safe here. It actually brings up a lot of concerns about where we're going here.
Hey,
But
Tin-
all in all,
Tin
pretty
Man,
good.
Are we done with these buzzsaw things?
So, do I know what they are? Am I allowed to explain it?
The concept of a clockwork horror is not at all unfamiliar to Szar and Tinman. They are a bit of a blight in the belt. They sort of come part and parcel with people attempting to make their own auto gnomes on the cheap.
Yeah, we'll want to keep an eye out. They're known for getting into cracks and crevices, but if we're not seeing them now, I think we're probably pretty good. They swarm.
Quickly.
They do. Many.
So if they're not swarming no more,
Good, sorry.
I recommend keeping an eye out just in case. But I think we should be good.
As always, Tim, I appreciate report. That's very actually helpful.
I'm hungry.
I'm starving.
White.
All right. Yeah.
Scrap, what-
Hold your horses. Hold your horses. All right. You three, stop bleeding over there. Set up a table.
And I'll go give them a hand as they set up a table. And I'm gonna like begrudgingly try to be nice and not like an elf as I'm helping them. Like, oh, you guys are doing so good. And then as soon as they turn their head, I'm like, oh my gosh.
And as it's like, seeing Valen kind of do the groan off to the side, like the Tony Stark in Iron Man, I'm just gonna like wave the knife at him and be like, "Be thankful you're alive."
It is good to be thankful. Thank you, Skarok. I just wish I could be thankful for a good salad here. So I'm hoping you live up to it. You know, guys, I've given you guys a pretty good hard time recently, but I have a real good feeling about what's going on here and the group we're putting together. So let's try to enjoy this food. We got a hard mission coming up. We're about to go planet side, and we all need to be at our best here. So get some rest, relax, enjoy this food. But when we land, it's go time. So get ready and prepare.
Tinman kind of elbows Skarok. Yeah, like we weren't just dealing with whirling blades of death.
That could be child's play for what we see down there.
I was like, next is
Yeah,
thingies, right?
yeah, we might be wishing for Clockwork Horse when we get back to the ship. We might bring them back to life just to feel a little happy about ourselves. Skarok, what's on the menu today? You got me a salad ready or what?
Yeah, no. So at that end, we're like, hold your horses, and then Skarok literally just kind of like moves off to the side and pulls out the bag of colding, and
Ryback starts getting a fire together.
Nice.
So,
Tinman's
as-
actually going to help Ryback.
as Ryback and Tinman are doing that, from the bag of colding, you're going to see Skarok pull basically half a professional range out of the like a street cart, like as if you were going to set up a professional chef's set out on the side of a city, and it says, "All right, stoke the fire," and then start just calling out, "I need you to like start chucking vegetables, chop this, do like basically run in the kitchen."
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. So as he's doing this, he's going to pull out a large fowl creature, a bird, starts dressing it, putting the spices and everything on it, takes some bread, things like that, stuffs the creature, and
Ooh, a stuffed fowl bird. What kind
Yep.
of meeting are we having here, guys?
all right. So, anyways, and like
Wow.
as Valen's kind of like, what? I'm like, hey, Valen, you don't get to just sit there, man. Bring the flamethrower.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take it off my shoulder, which it kind of rests on out of combat, and I'm going to set it up like underneath a grate and like kind of give him the controls of it so he can turn the temperature up and down. And I'm gonna be like, yo, don't get too used to that bad boy. I made that thing years ago and it's still going strong.
So as he's going through that, I'm like, and I'm like, I dig it. Like we get it to about that perfect temperature, and I'm like, there. And I put the bird over the top of it on a spit with a handle, and I said, Valen, go.
And I'll start turning it as it's cooking slowly. As it's going, I'm gonna have someone take over, and I'm gonna pull out a flute out of my bag and start playing.
Szar will take that over. I can spend that with a secondary arm.
And I'm gonna
Easy
start
peasy.
playing just a nice elven space tune, just real low and quiet in the background as I kind of kick my feet up as the food's cooking.
Yep.
We're just waiting for like the salad to start as I'm seeing like cabbage and lettuce come out. And
So,
my
Hold on.
yeah, it's like
DM?
Hold on,
we're
Alex.
getting there. We're getting there. So after we get the
Hold on,
main
Alex.
dish
The man had something to say.
going.
Go ahead, Tin Man.
Oh, I was gonna say, DM, if I may have a character moment here, can I call for a roll?
Yeah, absolutely. And while all of this is happening, and 100% Day, just a moment, Ryback, once he's got everything prepped for you, Skarok, he's going to help where he can, but he's going to see that you've got everything going. And he's going to pull the chest over, and he's going to put together some seats, and he's going to set everybody up around the fire with some nice warm ale. Go ahead, Tin Man.
Skarok, do me a favor. Make me a perception check.
All right.
Suspect.
Sus.
How about a 10?
How obvious
10,
are you
okay.
being, Tin Man?
So you don't notice it at first. It's really subtle. You're used to working with Ryback. You guys have been in the kitchen probably for weeks now over at the academy there. And Tin Man, you know, he's pretty innocuous. You don't think much of it. And you're focused on this glorious fowl. But eventually, you look over and you do see that Tin Man is doing a little bit of work here. His
Good work.
cooking style is very rustic, but you notice that he's actually got some knife skills. Come to find out, it looks like Tin Man actually has done this before.
Skarok clocks this, and just his eyes just widen and goes, "You are my new sous chef."
Just kind of tip my hat and keep going. Valen, you noticed that your vegetables here are getting chopped up and put together by Tin Man, it looks like.
And as I see that, I start playing my flute a little more like excitedly.
You can see as Fred, as he moves to sit down, you can see he's still a little goopy from the damage he's taken. But you can see his the goop around his mouth, sort of, or where his mouth would be, sort of form into like rigid lines, and he sort of pulls out these two sticks, and then his legs turn into drums, and he just starts drumming gently along to the rhythm.
And
He's got
I'll
that
kind of like
lingering
lean into
power.
it. Yeah, I'll lean into it and play the flute a little more in tune with what he's doing.
Right, got a tune going. The fire is burning high. The room, the area itself, it's a little smaller, but with all of the clockwork horrors moved away, it's surprisingly cozy. The walls themselves are characteristically non-notable. Like I said, they're just disintegrated stone. But with the fire going, the music, and the smell of fresh food, it's hard not to be cozy. Everybody sat around the fire, and you can see Ryback laughing and telling old war stories. He clocks that.
Valen, I can see you walk like a soldier. Do you have a story for us?
Oh, there's plenty of stories. The real question is, do you want a story of me as a soldier or me as a intergalactically known space hamster racer?
Tin Man just looks up at him.
Dealer's choice.
You got a storied past, ain't you?
Us elves do tend to be a little more cultured with our time and explore other, delights the universe has to offer with our extended lifetime. And in another life, I had spent time with the Xerixian Navy, and, before that, I had spent time raising many hamsters for the Gale Force Grand Prix, which I actually won twice. I don't know if anyone knew that. I don't get much recognition nowadays for it, especially how it ended. But that was all just kind of hearsay, anyways, and rumors. But yeah, I've spent many years out on the float, and as I continue to tell stories to the group about mostly my military experience, we'll kind of just play that out as the food kind of gets served.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Alex.
So basically he's going through his stories. Like Skarok is just kind of chuckling at some of the antics and like just seeing how animated Valen gets, and you know, like and the stories that he's telling, it's Skarok's mind is actually fairly blown because like he has really like pegged this guy for something that hearing his stories is like, huh?
Yeah, a lot of the
not
story.
have expected.
Yeah, a lot of the storytelling is rather serious events, but always like that flair of Valen, like hint of attitude, kind of joke to the story. And as we continue telling the stories, I can get more in depth with them. And as he kind of wraps up his story a little bit with this one, he was kind of being out on a observation post with just a few men and bad communication lines, and how they just relied on the team to continue the mission, as frivolous it may have felt, but just relying on the team gave them strength. And that's kind of a story of unity on doubting yourself but trusting your teammates.
Yep. And with the end of that, should we just go ahead and serve dinner? And
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
as his story peters out and Skarok calls for dinner to be ready, you hear a gentle harmonica begin to play.
nice.
And you can see that Tinman has picked up the tune you left off of on.
Oh, I didn't realize you play. And as the food's serving, I'll bring the flute up to my lips and try to play in tune with him a little bit, and kind of feel it as the food's coming out, as we jam a little bit and kind of be merry and silly with each other, kind of jovial, laughing at each other as the food's serving. A real holiday feel, as you must, if you will.
Absolutely.
gotcha.
And everyone's laugh. Ryback gives off a large guffaw at some joke that was told. He leans over.
Szar, I've heard your name. Do you have anything to say?
At that, actually, at that exact comment, Tinman will perk up. You see him literally like masticating this foul leg, this fiery heat coming up from his furnace as he literally converts what he's chewing into grease and oil. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I can't get a pin on you. I keep hearing you're some kind of dread pirate or something, but you got a bit of a soldier's gait to you as well. What's your story there, sir?
I was a pirate. I left my colony. I wanted to seek out freedom amongst the stars. Do what I always wanted to do.
What's
I did.
that?
I traveled the stars. I did what I wanted when I wanted. People tagged along. And
We're that
then-
people now.
where are they at now?
No, we're that people now.
Oh, you're the people now.
Yeah.
But the other people took my boat and left me on a rock.
I can't promise
Wait, were
anything.
those other people the ones that
Szar, but
just came back?
What do you mean?
The boat, the other Szar
No,
Junior.
no. Speaking of the other Szar, I have absolutely no idea who he is, but he's definitely trying to take credit for my name when I was a pirate.
he's doing pretty good at it.
I mean, that was a pretty dope pirate attack. I mean, he did like legitimately attack us.
Shot me with a cannon.
Several.
He did. He shot
That's
you
awesome.
with a cannon.
I'm just mad that was the best pirate move I've ever seen, and I wasn't on the other end.
Hey, when we find him, you got to shoot him with the cannon to just be even.
You know what? You're right, Valen. That's the best idea I've heard.
All right, so mission 1, we got to get a cannon before we get planet side. We got to get a cannon.
It's like, I may know someone who could make.
I'm naming the cannon the Imposter Remover 9000.
To cannons!
Cannons! And I'm
The
gonna
Cannons!
and then drink back. And you'll notice my plate is still filled with the fowl and the other food, and I'm kind of just waiting to be served a salad and like looking if it's
So yeah,
coming out.
anyways, so like
Getting hungrier
y'all
and
haven't
hungrier.
actually been served any food yet because I haven't told you what you're eating yet.
Oh,
Tinman just grabbing pieces.
Tin Man was just
And
grabbing.
man was just grabbing stuff.
Classic holiday party. So,
Oh, so yeah.
Skarok, fill us in. What do we got to eat here? We're getting hungry, man.
All right,
I only know
so,
so many songs on my flute.
I can only fight off so many metal monstrosities before I need something to eat.
And you
yeah,
see me play
out
the
comes this
same flute song.
gigantic bird. It's a decent size. Hate to be kind of cliche
I'm-
here. It's
Picture an
not-
ostrich size.
Yeah,
It's
actually,
a
that's
gigantic bird.
Yeah, no, it's about an ostrich size.
Oh my gosh.
So the Skarok goes in. He's like, this is what we call an evax, and it is a large fowl. Looks, I think you could call them a peacock, and it's a very very beautiful bird. Delicacy on Verdant because they don't live on the ground or anywhere near it. They in fact live at the tops of what we consider our gods, these 5-kilometer tall trees. Now, legend says that some people will occasionally come across a dying ibex in the forest, and it essentially chooses who may take said bird. But that is 100% a lie. I'll tell you that straight up. No, you can go hunt these anywhere you want if you know where to look. Anyways,
Well, I still feel blessed.
Man, I thought he was
still
about to
feeling
tell
blessed.
me
Hey,
he was chosen one by a bird.
I'm feeling
no,
blessed
no,
and
no,
thankful
but-
for this, and I don't
but
even
no,
eat this.
but
fowl.
I just have to say I am very thankful for the help and the friends here. And let me just say that this animal, the last time I ate it was the day my older brother died. And so I've told you before about my culture and how I am a non-person, and more or less we do the dirty jobs. Well, my family were a group of butchers, and
I
in
can certainly relate.
my area where we lived, it was not unheard of for the nobles. And Skarok goes to literally start looking towards Valen, but like kind of fights it, like, wait, no, like kind of like checking himself, and that like, oh, okay, he's not that kind of person.
And as you look over, I'm trying to like not make eye contact because I can definitely feel the part of the story that I am. And I'm like,
So essentially, one day I was but a young pup, and my family and I were out shopping with my older brother, Rai, who is much older than I. He was probably about my age now. Long story short, as we were walking, a noble who was on his coming of age ceremony went to get a spear for his hunt, and well, as customary, nobles like to test their weapons. This particular person decided that it was my older brother. Put a spear through his hearts. I ran into the forest and did not see my family for many years. I learned to cook in the hunters' enclaves in the forest, and the tree that we saw back at the academy telling me it was the planet that provided for me. Yeah, it kind of was. And but here's the thing. As he gestures to the meal, this is what I love. Bon appetit. And like, this is what I want to do. I don't care about my world. I want you to enjoy this.
I know that's a hard decision to come by, but I say, considering I don't exactly taste things the way others do, I still know effort when I see it, and I do appreciate it.
And
Quite
Skarok,
frankly,
that is going to basically like slide across the table this like really purely refined oil from a sea creature. It's basically like whale oil from traders from Verdansk. Like, try that.
gonna kind of take a look at it. Oh, that's crystal clear. Nice amber color. I like that.
and you only take half of it. And Skarok, I'd like you to roll a d10 for everybody to get temporary HP.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, that was a 1.
Oh.
So everybody gets 3 temporary HP that will persist through the next day.
All right.
If I may,
You may.
I've been around my fair share of meal halls and fire pits, and sometimes morale can be critical to holding up people in some hard times. I've worked with a lot of folk that are, coming from backgrounds a lot like yours, Skarok, that just, they're living off the land and having to make do with what they got, and it's an absolute pleasure to see that even out here and wherever it is we are, there's still good folks, and we all got our own background here. But sorry, I don't mean to get sappy. I'm not the best with words. I just want to let y'all know that I've seen the best of folks and I've seen the worst of folks, and I do appreciate that. While I know that this mission does have its perks for certain, I know I'm hoping to get a little bit out of this. It's good to see everybody kind of working so well together. So here's to our mission.
To our mission,
The
Raise
mission.
our
to
glass.
good folk, and to cannons.
To
Anti-cannon.
Veterans!
The cannons! As the other 3 join in, and you can see Rybeck down 2 flasks back to back. And as the evening ticks on, the fire wanes, and everybody finds their comfortable beds, their packs, what have you. Yes,
I
Carol.
forgot one thing. No,
Yeah.
I forgot one thing. Is like as the party goes through,
Cranberry?
realizing that like
Cranberry
Valen
sauce.
is still looking around. He's like,
Yeah. No salad.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I just kind of walk over. I walk over to Valen with this beautifully presented salad, and it's just various types of greens with a mango balsamic vinaigrette dressing
Getting
that is
fancy.
extremely spicy.
I'm gonna,
Wow.
I'm gonna
And-
like look at it and like make eye contact, like look
You
over
can
my
see-
shoulder and like
And on top of it, there is the octopus. Sorry, go ahead, Mark.
And sliced on top is sort of a garnish, but also is a fruit you don't recognize. It's in the shape of a 6-pointed star, and like the seeds themselves almost seem to sizzle inside of the flesh of the fruit alongside
this
that.
sounds good.
Right?
I'm gonna kind of look over my shoulders and then like the most like barbaric like eating of it, where it's like no thought about it, where like normally I would sit down and present it and
No
bring out
thought, just consumption.
I'm so hungry, waiting for someone to bring some food to me, because as an elf I'm not gonna like, I'm waiting for it to be served, right? That I just demolish it.
And
And I lean in and just go, Valen, anytime you want, just ask.
with full bellies and with the aches and pains and injuries of a very long day behind you, you find your place to sleep and you manage to bed down for the evening. I need everybody roll initiative. I'm just kidding.
Oh, man.
And
Fuck
that's what we're going to
that,
call
man.
it for the night.
Hey,
Our
I
kid
love how we-
definitely set up his nice hammock.
hey,
I love how we turned this into a Thanksgiving special.
yes. Hey,
Yeah.
hey, we couldn't be live on TikTok. We were live on Twitch tonight. When this goes live on YouTube, it'll actually be post Thanksgiving. So when you guys are viewing this, hopefully everyone had a great Thanksgiving. Enjoyed
Yes,
their
happy holidays.
yeah, enjoyed it. Got all the great deals on
Yeah.
Black Friday. Pick up some of our merch. Get some friends and family some of our shirts, our DDC hoodies for the holidays. Let them know that you're a fan. We'll see you guys next Monday for a
Most
behind.
importantly,
Yep.
oh, sorry, Matt.
Cannon.
Yeah. We'll
Yes,
see you
for
guys.
cannons.
We'll see you guys next Monday for a behind the scenes of this week's episode. We're gonna have Unlikely Cat Ninja, our newest member of the club, on with us. She's gonna talk about everything great she's bringing to the team and how this episode went. And we'll be getting ready for episode 8 in 2 weeks. So tune back in. We'll be back on TikTok. We'll be back on this. And I'm gonna hopefully go live on YouTube. So thanks for tuning in. Mark, you got us. Take us home.
Most importantly, please stay safe. Watch out for yourself. I understand for a lot of people it's a tough time. If you are having a tough time, please reach out to somebody.
Absolutely.
But otherwise, stay safe, wash your dice, and we'll see you in the stars.
Hey, see you guys later. Great episode.